Hey guys, Kenny here, Kent Small Engines. What we have today is a pressure washer, which is an old Craftsman pressure washer with a Briggs intake engine on it. And guy says it hasn't run in a number of years, so we are going to see what's going on. The oil is a little bit overfilled, so I'm going to take my oil extractor and we're going to extract a little bit out, but we don't have to do that right this second. I want to check inside the carburetor what's going on. Let me grab a fuel cutoff plier so I can shut off the fuel flow. We'll also see what the fuel looks like. Be right back. Now I have all kinds of fuel shutoff pliers, but I bought a set of these things. You get like 10 or 12 of these, all different sizes, 90 degrees straight. It's like 20 bucks. So, figure what the heck. Clamp it on. Set it. And we'll go from there. We'll see if it works. All right, 5/16. All right, the air filter, not bad. It's old, but it's not bad. Uh-oh. One of the screws in the carburetor is out by about 1/8 of an inch, so somebody's been monkeying around. Somebody's been playing. Wasn't me, but somebody's been in here. Let's see what kind of damage they did. All right, so the vent hose comes off clean. What? No dirt underneath, nice and clean. Yeah, a little bit of schmutz in here. Yeah, probably best to take the carburetor off. Let me take off this top cover. So we can access everything. I'm using my friend's tractor as a table. All right. The choke lever just goes in from the top. Take that off. And now we can carburetor. Basically, a couple of screws. Take off the fuel line. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this off. I was going to just drop the bowl, but it looks kind of gnarly in there. This gasket's all messed up. I'm going to have to change that gasket because that's all messed up. We'll change that. Let me get a plier to take off the fuel line clamp. We'll unscrew the carburetor. Let's see what the carburetor looks like. I guarantee it's all gunked up inside. Be right back. All right. I like using lineman pliers to take off fuel clamps. And also I got these pliers here to take off the fuel line. So we're going to take off the clamp, and there's going to be a little bit of fuel in here. Let me see, what do I have to catch it? I got a little bit of a clear container to catch it. Let me wipe this out, then I can see what it looks like in there. All right, let's take off this fuel line. These pliers are nice and handy for that. Oof, oh boy. Hoo-wee, yuck. Yeah, nice, oof. Yeah, that fuel shutoff isn't working, right? Yeah, now it is. Let me drain some more out of here. It's coming out yellow, not too fresh, so I'm going to drain a little bit out. I'll drain out about 3 or 4 ounces. And the fuel splashed. A good thing I had some glasses on. It protected my eyes. I think I may just drain all the fuel out of this because I don't trust the customer's fuel. You don't know how long it's been in there. But this plier, I think I have the wrong size because when I put it, yeah, see, that's the wrong size. So what you do, you want to go higher than the level of the fuel. If you go higher than the level of the fuel, it won't leak out. So I'm going to put the clamp up here real quick just to hold the fuel line. Hold it higher than the fuel tank. There we we go. If you hold it higher than the level of the fuel tank, it won't come out. So that's good for now. All right, let me wipe some of this stuff away here. Yeah, this fuel, it doesn't smell bad, but it's yellow, which means it's old. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drain the fuel out of here and I'm gonna throw it in my snapper because my snapper will burn anything. Let me go throw it in the snapper. I'll be right back. There wasn't much fuel left in the tank, about half a quart. So I'm gonna pour that in my old trusty snapper and that'll probably be enough to cut my mom's lawn next week. I'll be right back. All right, let's get down to business. Take that carburetor off and see what we got here. That is 1/2 inch. So go with a 1/2 inch. Nope, 7/16, not 1/2 inch. Is it, or is it 3/8? Let's see. What is that? Oh, 3/8. There we go. All right, so the only thing we got to do with this carb right now is take out the 2 screws. Take off the 1 linkage from the governor. All right, now, where's my container? Let's pour out, what was it? Ooh, yuck. Yeah, that ain't looking too good. That's pouring out kind of green. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be mucky in there, I'm sure. All right, let's take off the, this nut here. Yuck. Oh, holy cow. 1/2 inch. So let's get the 1/2 inch bit. Man, that stinks. Ugh. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of varnish in there, baby. Yeah. Yuck. All right. That's not going to be fun. When you get that stuff on your hands smell for days. I don't know why, but that varnish is like permanent smell. Ah, look at that brown green muck. Yeah. Yuck. All right, guys, here's a moment of truth. Oh, yeah. Well, inside the carby's not too bad, but here we go. We got jelly. We got water. What can you see here? Where are you? We got jelly there. We got water. Look at that. All that jelly and everything. Yeah, that's old fuel, everybody. Ethanol and old fuel. So we got water, we got jelly, we got all kinds of crap. So we're gonna pour that out, and I'm gonna get my my spray. I'm gonna clean that out with the spray first. There's a spot here. I hope it's not rotted through. I don't think so. It looks like it started to rot through, but it didn't go all the way. Let me get some parts cleaner. We'll clean it up. We'll do a quick cleanup, put it back together to see if a quick clean does it. Otherwise, we'll have to ultrasonic. So let me get my parts cleaner. I'll be right back. All right, we used a little brake clean and we cleaned out inside. But you can see there's that rotted part right there. See how it's rotted? If you look on the outside, it's not broken through. There's no weep hole in there. But I tell you, if this guy keeps old fuel in there, that could continue to rot through, create a hole, and then he's going to be leaking fuel. But for now, it's not leaking. So I'm going to use it the way it is. So let's just look at the rest of the carb. Like I said, the rest doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to take out the float pin. All right. I'm going to take out the float and the needle, and do not use carburetor or parts cleaner. This has a metal needle, but it's got the red rubber seat. Make sure you don't get carb cleaner or parts cleaner on that red rubber seat. It'll swell. Then your needle will, or your float will be too high. It won't allow enough fuel to get sucked up and it won't work. So what I do is I put my thumb over it, and then I'll squirt in my carb cleaner or my parts cleaner to make sure there's no obstructions. And it's coming out. Ooh, it's squirting out yellow too. Yuck. There we go. Now it's squirting out clean. And you could squirt it in this hole right here, and then it'll squirt out that little tube as well. All right. All right. We might be able. Ooh, look at all that jelly in here. See all that jelly? Let's get rid of all that. I have red needle or red seats, so if I need one, I have one, but I'm going to keep my hand over it. Yeah, all kinds of crap in there. All right. Like I said, this gasket's gone, so I'm gonna have to put on a new gasket, scrape off this old one and put a new one in. So let me squirt these holes in here. Like I said, don't get fuel on that rubber seat. You don't want that seat to swell on you. All right, I'm gonna let that dry real quick. I'm gonna get my air hose. I'm gonna blow it off. Let me grab the air hose. I'll be right back and I'll show you how I blow it out. All right, got my air hose and I put an 1/8 inch brass tube on so I can blow stuff out, and I got my torch tip cleaners. So we're gonna take the air hose. Blow through there. Blow everything off. You can see a little bit of dirt on there. It wipes off with your hand or with a rag. Yeah. But I think everything's clean in there. I'm just hoping that seat didn't swell, and I'll know in 2 seconds if it did. But look at all that crap that came out of there. All the crap in there. I don't know if you can see it. All the brown guck and garbage. Unbelievable. All right. All right. The float looks pretty good. The needle, nothing wrong with the needle. Let me spray this float a little bit. Get all the yellow off of it. Now let's see if that seat expanded at all. I hope it didn't. So we'll put the needle back in. We'll wipe it off on my shirt, make sure it's clean. It's clean. Please don't be expanded. All right. Stick it in. Get the float pin. Ah, it expanded. Yeah, see? If you look, see how the float's sticking so high? It's not supposed to be that high. And I think what happened too is he may have added something in there. That seat is, the float's supposed to be level, all right? It's a little high. By being high, it's not gonna allow enough fuel in. I'm gonna have to change that red seat. So let me grab a seat, I'll put a new one in, I'll change it. But being that high, it's not gonna allow enough fuel to come in, it won't start. So let me grab a red seat, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. And we needed a new needle and seat, which is Briggs number 398188. You can get them OEM or you can get them aftermarket. I mean, I like the OEM better, to be honest, but the aftermarket, you can get them for like $1 a piece. It's kind of cheap, so I don't know. We're gonna try the aftermarket to see how it works. Now you're saying to yourself, how do you get out that seat? Well, I got the Tecumseh tool, which is a little different size. The tool number is 670377, and you could generally, it's like a crochet hook. You stick it in there and you pop out the seat. Come on, seat. Ah, man, that thing's in there. Wow, that thing is in there. Holy macaroni. Wow. Usually they come right out. There we go. There's the old seat. All right. And if we look in there, it's a little schmutzed up in there. Yeah, not too bad. Blow a little air in there. Ah. That seat, yeah, it looks a little swelled. All right, let's put the new one in. And what I do to put the new one in, I put a little oil on it. And you always put the seats in with the concentric circle side down, smooth side out. All right, I'll show you. If you look on the seat, you'll see concentric circles on that side, smooth on that side. You want that smooth side to be up to seal. You want the concentric circles to be down, but sometimes it gets stuck in the bore when you're trying to push it in. So a trick that I use is a little bit of motor oil around the seat. Wow, man, this cap is on there. Wow. A little bit of motor oil around that seat, around that, there we go. A little bit of Earl. Let it get a little bit of Earl around it. All right. And then we stick it in. You take the tool, the Tecumseh tool, and you push it in there. All right, you push it in there and it stays in. Can you guys see that? Where are you? You push it in with the Tecumseh tool, push it down nice and tight, make sure it's in all the way, and then what I'll do is I'll take the little needle, crochet end, and I'll make sure it's definitely all the way in. I'll go all the way around it with this needle end and just make sure it's all the way down. All right, I want to make sure it's seated. Okay. Now I can take the new needle that came with the kit, put it on the float. And I've seen these sometimes where they're not perfectly horizontal, but they're a lot better than it was. So let's see what we get with this one. All right, let's put on the pin and let's see where that float is. Oh yeah, a lot better. If you look at this one, all right, look at that. It's almost level. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's not like this. It's almost level. That's the way it's supposed to be. That means it's going to seal good and it's going to allow enough fuel up into the chamber. All right. So we got the bowl on here, but I've got to look at the nut and make sure the bowl nut is clean. So I brought out my torch tip cleaners. Let's make sure we got a clean bowl nut that we can see inside. All right, we'll blow a little air through it. Make sure it's clean. All right. Now we can put her back together. ½ inch. Let's see. I don't want to tighten it too tight and strip it out, so I'm going to use a wrench. There we go. All right. Now, let's put the screws back in. Oh, first thing we got to hook up the linkage. So let's hook up that linkage for the governor. All right. Here's the linkage. Let's get our screws in there. One on each side. There's one. There's the other. All right, ½ inch. No, these are 3/8, so excuse me, they're 3/8. Just go in there with the impact, very light impact, not much at all. Not much, you don't want to strip these out. Okay. All right. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some fresh fuel in there, drain a little bit out so it flushes out whatever residues in the bottom of that tank. And then I'll hook it up and we'll try this puppy out. We'll see if she starts. Where's my fuel? Do I have any fuel in here? Is it in my truck? Oh, there it is. There's my tank of fuel. Oh, it's full. I got a full tank of fuel. Holy cow. I got about 5 gallons in here. All right, I'm gonna put some in here. This is the gas thing that I fixed, the gas can. All right, that should be enough to flush it out. Let me run some out, make sure it comes out clear. All right. Now it's coming out clear. It was coming out yellow for the first few seconds. All right, now it's coming out clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these pliers. I'm going to crimp it so I know it's shut off. I'm going to reattach it to the carburetor, or as Terrell says, the carbustrator. All right, put the fuel clamp back on. And hopefully that needle and seat are going to seal and I won't see any fuel leaking out of this carburetor. So let me wait a minute, make sure there's nothing leaking out. We'll put the choke wide open. All right. We'll put the choke knobby back on. So run should be pointing that way. All right. If you look at the way it is, oh, we got to go the other way with it. Oh, it only goes on one way. All right. Because you see it says run, it says choke. So, oh, that's what it is. There's an arrow here. That arrow points to the run. In this position, the choke's fully open. That arrow is pointing to run, so we're good. All right, let's put the fuel cap back on. All right, it's not leaking anything out of there. Let's do a quick wipe down of some of this stuff on here. Yeah, it's got a bunch of guck in here. Shoot a little carb spray on there. It's got a bunch of guck. Clean it up. Alright, what's he got for a spark plug? Briggs & Stratton spark plug. So it's the original spark plug. I'm not going to touch that. It should still be good. All right, everything's all cleaned. Let me wipe this down here. All right, let me put the cover back on it. Oh, we need the gasket. Where's the gasket? There's the gasket. We have the new gasket for the air cleaner backing plate. So we'll put it on, and it usually goes, let's see which way, like this. It's got pins to line it up. You know it's on right because the pins press on. And the holes line up. Now you got a brand new gasket. It'll work properly. You don't have to worry about the pulse. There's no prime on this one. It's got a choke. All right, so we're going to hook up the PCV hose. We're going to hook up the 2 screws that were on the carburetor. There's a little bit of schmutz on there. I'm going to blow it off. A little bit of schmutz. Let me get that out of there. All right, now we can take the 5/16 that were in the carburetor, and I don't know why that one screw is out of the carburetor. Somebody was playing with this. It wasn't me, but somebody was playing with it. So let's get these screws started. And I like to do these by hand. I don't like using, take them off, you could use the impact to take them off, but putting them back in, you don't want to strip these out. So I'm going to use a 5/16 on a nut driver. All right, we'll screw these back in. Yeah, this screw is kind of tight. I don't know why it's so tight. They do have Loctite from the factory usually on these, but this one for some reason, maybe it just has a little extra Loctite in there. There we go. Click, click. Where's James Condon? Click, click. Calibrated. All right, then we got the one up top here. It goes into the top. All right, so now we are set to try it out for the moment. I'm going to put the old air cleaner back on it just to try it. I'm going to put it on the ground. I am going to then remove the excess oil because I don't want the thing smoking. I'll put a little more fuel in it, and then we'll see how it actually runs. If it runs, I hope it runs. Then I can call the guy up and get my payday. All right. All right, that's back on it. Let's take this sucker, put it on the ground. As you can see, I'm using a piece of plywood on top of a old International Harvester Cub Cadet tractor. That's my bench today. Pseudo bench. I do have a Pender lift. Yes, I do. But I just wanted to be very simple today, and this is simple, so. All right, let me take this bugger off. All right, ready? Heave ho, let's go. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, let me get you situated with the camera. We'll drain out a little bit of the oil on there. Let me walk you over here. There we go. We're still in. All right. Let's take out a little bit of that oil because it is a little overfilled. I'm going to drain it anyway, but what I'm going to do, you can see on the dipstick, it's about 1/4 inch, almost 3/8 of an inch past full. That's not good. You don't want to be overfilled. So let me take my little drain here. Take a little bit out, not a lot. See if that's enough. I just want to have enough to start it. I don't want it to be overfilled. All right, let's check the dipstick. Let's see what we got. Make sure the dipstick is down. Oh, Hold on. Where are we? Double line goes to double line, so this way. There we go. All the way down. And we are... Ah, crap. We took out a little bit too much. You know what? I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put new oil in it. I'm putting new oil in anyway. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to take the oil out, put new oil in. This sucker sucked too much. Screw it. Let's go. Let's just take her out. Let's put in some fresh dyno oil. Let's tilt her back in the corner, get all the oil out of it. People don't realize that. You got to tilt it to get all the oil out. Tilt it back to the lower corner. Let's get everything out. There we go. Very good. There's all the oil. Alrighty. And it's warm out today, so the oil's thin. I didn't have to warm it up. Normally you warm it up and get it all out. Alright. These things usually take about 19 ounces of oil. And I'll take the oil that I brought with me to use on the seat. It looks like it has about 19 ounces in it, so I think we're going to be pretty darn good. We should be perfect, actually. This is a synthetic blend Kawasaki oil. I love it. Get it from my dealer. It's about $5 a quart. Not going to fill it all the way first. Let's go right there and let's see what the dipstick reads. You don't want to, oh, it says right here, caution, 20 ounce max. Okay. I thought it was 19, but 20, that's good enough. A little more. And when you're reading your dipstick and you pull it out, check both sides, because sometimes when you pull the dipstick out, it'll rub oil from the tube on the side of the dipstick and you'll think it's way over full. Flip it over to make sure, because one side's usually less than the other. That's why I line up the dipstick with the holes on here so you don't have to rotate it. Just stick it on, bring it up. And in this case, we're good. Okay. All right, we're good. We got fuel in it. Let's make sure we got enough. Now let me put a little more in. I'll give him a full tank. There we go. Full tank of fuel. They appreciate it when you give them a full tank. All right, I don't have any water on it, so when it starts, I'm only gonna start it for a second, then I'm gonna shut it off. And the way the kill works on these, you put full throttle is here, and that's the kill switch. So I'm gonna start it, hopefully. I'll put the choke on, start it, choke off, and then I'll kill it. All right, here we go, contact. Perfect. All right, it starts, it runs. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to the backyard. I'm going to hook it up to, actually, yeah, I'll go to the backyard. I'm going to hook it up to water. I don't have the hoses, but I can see the pump in and the pump out to see what everything looks like. So let me take you in the backyard. Let's test this sucker out with water. Be right back. All right, we got it on. The water's on from the hose. You can see it spraying out. So let me turn it on, see what happens. Choke on. Oh, on, I had it off. That's good. I'll let the water run for a minute just to cool it off. Got a little bit run through there. But that's a win-win, guys. Let me get that back to the customer. I already put the new air filter and pre-filter in. Spark plug, it's running good. I'm not even going to worry about it. So that's it. Oils change, air filter, pre-filter. He said he only used it a few times, so, but it's old. He hasn't used it in about 4 years. So, all right. The date code on this thing, 04. So 2004. It's 19 years old. You can see it's all rusty, but you know what? It runs good. You got to keep oil in it. Make sure the valves are adjusted properly if it's not running right. But thumbs up for me. Time for a payday. All right, guys. That'll be it for me for now. We will talk to you soon.